Hello! Please gather around because what I am about to tell you will completely shatter everything you think you know about Thailand's bar scene. Picture this. It is 1985. Reagan is in the White House. Madonna is topping the charts. And in a smoky Bangkok bar, transactions happen with crisp baht notes and handwritten receipts. Fast forward to 2025 and that same bar girl is now managing 3 different social media accounts, accepting crypto payments, and probably has better Wi-Fi than your local Starbucks. However, here is a kicker. The woman serving drinks might now sport full sleeve tattoos, enhanced curves, and a smartphone more expensive than most people's monthly rent. Moreover, if you think that is where the story ends, mate, you are in for quite the ride because the real transformation goes far deeper than anyone imagined. Now, I have been observing Southeast Asian culture for more years than I care to admit, and let me tell you, if you want to understand how dramatically Thai society has shifted, you need look no further than the evolution of the bar scene. It is like watching a time lapse of an entire culture adapting to modernity, and frankly, it is both fascinating and slightly bewildering. Back in the 1980s and 1990s, the world was simpler, was it not? Margaret Thatcher was busy dismantling Britain. The internet was something only computer nerds talked about, and in Thailand's entertainment districts, everything operated on what I call the analog system. Cash transactions, face-to-face interactions, and a social hierarchy as rigid as a British queue. The typical bar girl of that era, and I am being descriptive here, not judgmental, was petite, natural, and carried herself with a particular kind of discretion. Tattoos? Absolutely not, unless they were traditional religious symbols blessed by monks. Surgical enhancements? Unheard of. These women operated within very specific parameters, both physically and socially. The bars themselves were different beasts entirely. Dim lighting, cassette players cranking out Thai pop alongside heavy rock, and a clientele that was predominantly Western tourists and expats who had stumbled into Thailand during the economic boom. Everything was cash driven, immediate, and surprisingly personal. Relationships, however transactional, and back then built on repeated face-to-face interactions. Nevertheless, here is where it gets interesting and slightly ironic if you ask me. The very technology that was supposed to liberate women and provide them with more opportunities has simultaneously complicated their lives in ways nobody anticipated. The digital revolution hits the red light districts. Enter the 2000s, and suddenly everything changes. The internet arrives like a tropical storm. Mobile phones become ubiquitous, and social media starts reshaping human interaction. Moreover, Thai bar girls, entrepreneurial as they have always been, immediately recognize the potential. Today's bar scene is unrecognizable from its predecessor. Walk in any establishment in 2025 and you will find women managing multiple digital identities. They are online, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and platforms I cannot even pronounce. They are essentially running small digital businesses while simultaneously working their traditional venues. The physical transformation is equally striking. Modern Thai bar girls often sport what I diplomatically call enhanced fuller figures. Surgical modifications that would have been scandalous in the 1980s but are now almost expected. Full sleeve tattoos, once taboo, are now fashion statements. The petite national aesthetic has been replaced by more international social media friendly appearance. It is rather like watching traditional Thai architecture slowly give way to glass towers, same location, completely different aesthetic. The economics of modern bar life. The financial aspects have become infinitely more complex. In the 1980s, it was straightforward. Cash for drinks, cash for company, and cash for everything. Simple, immediate, and surprisingly honest in its transparency. Today, these women are managing multiple income streams that would impress a Wall Street analyst. There is traditional bar work, online content creation, social media sponsorships, digital gift giving through apps, cryptocurrency transactions, and various subscription-based services. Some are essentially influencers who happen to work in bars. The globalization of their clientele has been remarkable, where once they primarily interacted with tourists physically present in Thailand, now they maintain relationships with customers worldwide. I have witnessed bar girls conducting video calls with regulars in Manchester while simultaneously serving drinks to Germans in Bangkok. It is multitasking on a scale that would exhaust most people. Social media, the great equalizer or complicator? This is where things get genuinely fascinating. Social media has democratized access to customers, but has also created new forms of competition and pressure. Every bar girl now needs to be a photographer, content creator, customer service representative, and entertainer simultaneously. The psychological impact is significant. The 1980s bar girl dealt with stigma within her immediate community. Today's bar girls face potential judgment from a global audience, but also has access to supportive communities and resources that were unimaginable decades ago. The regulatory tango. The government attitudes have evolved as well, creating a complex dance between traditional regulation and modern reality. Authorities struggle to regulate an industry that increasingly operates in digital spaces they do not fully understand. The result is a fascinating grey area where traditional bar licenses coexist with social media accounts, where physical establishments must comply with local laws while their employees operate in the borderless world of the internet. Health, safety, and modern challenges. The health landscape has transformed dramatically. Access to healthcare has improved, but new challenges have emerged. The pressure to maintain a social media presence, manage multiple relationships, and compete in an increasingly saturated market has created stress levels that would have been foreign to previous generations. Interestingly, many women now have more control over their working conditions. They can screen customers online, set boundaries through digital communication, and maintain some distance through technology. Nevertheless, this same technology has also made them more accessible and created expectations for constant availability. The generational divide. Perhaps most intriguingly, there is now a generational divide within the industry itself. Older women who started in the analog era often struggle with digital demands, while younger women who grew up with smartphones navigate the modern landscape more naturally. This has created an interesting mentorship dynamic where technical skills are often flowing upward from younger to older workers, reversing traditional hierarchies. Tourism evolution and its impact. The Tourism industry itself has changed dramatically. Budget airlines, digital booking platforms and social media marketing have democratized travel, bringing different types of customers with different expectations and budgets. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated digital adoption even further, forcing the industry to adapt to virtual interactions and remote relationships in a way that would have been impossible in the 1980s. The modern bar girl, entrepreneur or employee? Today's bar girl is often more entrepreneur than employee. She is building personal brands, managing customer relationships across multiple platforms and creating diverse revenue streams. It is rather like watching traditional retail evolved into e-commerce, except the product is companionship and entertainment. The successful ones have adapted to become content creators, relationship managers and small business owners who happen to work in bars. The less successful ones often struggle with the technical and marketing demands of the modern landscape. Cultural acceptance and stigma. Social attitudes have shifted significantly. While stigma persists, there is also greater understanding of economic realities and women's autonomy. The conversation has become more nuanced, though still complicated by cultural conservatism and religious influences. Interestingly, the globalization of the industry has sometimes led to greater acceptance domestically as international perspectives influence local attitudes. The future trajectory. Looking ahead, artificial intelligence, virtual reality and cryptocurrency are likely to change or to create changes that are even more dramatic. The industry has consistently demonstrated remarkable adaptability, so I expect continued evolution rather than stagnation. So, is it the same goals but a different game? So there you have it, from analog to digital, from local to global, from simple to complex. The core motivations remained unchanged. Economic necessity, the pursuit of better opportunities and the desire for improved circumstances. Nevertheless, the methods, challenges and opportunities have been completely transformed. It is rather like watching cricket evolve into 2020. Same fundamental game, but the rules, pace and strategies have changed beyond recognition. The players are the same, but they are playing in a completely different league now. The Thai bar scene's evolution mirrors broader societal changes. Globalization, digitalization and the democratization of opportunities alongside the complication of daily life. Whether this represents progress or simply different challenges is probably a matter of perspective. What is undeniable is that these women have consistently demonstrated remarkable adaptability, entrepreneurial spirit and resilience in the face of changing circumstances. And honestly, that is rather admirable, even if it makes this old Englishman feel increasingly bewildered by the modern world. If you found this journey through Thailand's social evolution as fascinating as I did, living it and now researching it, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what other aspects of Southeast Asian cultural change would you like me to explore. Moreover, please share your own observations if you have witnessed these transformations firsthand. Until next time, keep questioning what you think you know about the world around you. Take care. Bye bye.